Hello there, people that might be interested in this sort of thing. I thought I would shoot a little video of what I got or ordered on Fountain Pen Day. I have a few fountain pens, which should be all I ever really need, but I bought one a few months ago that I really loved and got involved a little bit in the Fountain Pen Society and starting to learn more about it as a hobby. And so last Friday, a week ago, was Fountain Pen Day, and I just happened to browse a couple of places online, and I ended up seeing a very good deal for something, and one thing led to another, and I took advantage of a couple of good deals. So I didn't need to buy any new fountain pens, but I guess I'm going to have more pens than I need to write with. I will have a bit of a variety. So hopefully this will stay in frame, because I can't actually see or watch what I'm doing on the camera. But instead of me talking, why don't I just open up my packages and at least start showing what's inside. So I ordered, I'm obviously, well, maybe not obvious to everybody, but I'm in Canada, in the national capital, Ottawa, and a new member of the Ottawa Fountain Pen Society. I've had a fountain pen for I would say almost 30 years, but I didn't buy my second fountain pen till about 2 years ago. A little bit more than 2 years ago, and then this year I ended up buying a lot more, and I bought my the one that I fell in love with a couple of months ago, as I may have said, and decided that's it. This is the one I need. It's perfect. And then I started learning a bit more about people that collect these sort of things, and I did not anticipate all these peanuts, but anyway, nice to see they wrap things well. So I guess I decided to buy some more, and I'll tell you the story as I go along. So the reason I ended up buying more is because I absolutely adore the pen that I have. I love the way it writes. I love the way it looks. And I saw the big brother of that pen with a discount for Fountain Pen Day and a couple other goodies thrown in. So obviously they've sent me a little note here, probably the invoice. Yeah, so I'll get to the paperwork later. Cute little smile clip that's just fallen somewhere. I'll have to retrieve that later. Hopefully I haven't just knocked the camera out of line. So let's see. Well, now you can see as I pull the bubble wrap away that I bought some Pelikan products. So let me get stuff out of the box at least, so that I'm not taking up as much room. All right, let me just put that out of the way and have a quick look-see. Okay, at least everything's on camera. So, yeah, so I bought some Pelikans. Why did I buy Pelikans? Well, here's the pen I bought a couple of months ago. It's a Pelikan M600 with a blue and black stripe, and it's a medium tipped nib. And so this is the sort of highest end fountain pen that I own. The day that I got it, I took it out of the box and inked it up and wrote with it, and I'd never felt so comfortable with a fountain pen. It felt so smooth and just loved it. The ink lasted quite a while. I had Pelikan Royal Blue, Koningsblauw ink in it, and then the next time I inked it up, I used Iroshizuku Ajisai, which is the hyacinth ink, which is a nice color, but very much wetter ink. And even on decent fountain pen friendly paper like Tomo River, it was putting a very wide line, and forget writing on normal copier paper or printer paper. It was just like, I was using a paintbrush. So I thought, the good thing about these pens is the fact that, and it's not inked right now, is that you can easily remove the nib. The nib unit unscrews, and you can actually buy replacement nibs of different sizes and sub them in and out. So great. So since I own a medium, why don't I grab an extra fine, and when I want to use really wet inks, I will sub those in. So off I go on fountain pen day, because I know there'll be a special, and these ink nibs or nib units are expensive. Let's see if I can find a good deal on one. So I went to multiple websites, and then what did I see? But and it's no way of me telling which one of these is which, because obviously I bought two. But let me just say off the top that I saw another pen of the Pelikan Souverän family, and it was half the price of what I would pay in Canada. And I hummed and I hawed, and I did math all day long. I was figuring out exchange rates and credit card charges by the bank, and it still worked out to less than half of what I would pay in Canada for this pen. So I decided to get it, and then sort of pen lust took over, and I decided to buy something else, because what ended up happening is I wanted a specific color, and the one that was the great deal didn't come in that color. So but it's the signature of the line, and so I had to have it. And okay, this one going by touch is the second one I added. So let me take out this one first. So yeah, this was for half the price of what I could get in Canada, and I decided I really wanted to experience writing with this pen. So here it is. First time I'm seeing it. It's not that much bigger, but it's still a damn big pen. And I got the Souverän 1000 with an extra fine nib. Extra fine because, whoo, smokes, that's a big nib. I don't know if you can see that, and I'm sorry I can't see up to the camera. Yeah, I couldn't pass up the price. I said, if I'm ever going to own one, this is the time to get it, because I don't think the price is ever going to go down. They tend to go up here in Canada, and I don't think I'll ever get a deal this good. And the fact the green and black, or the black and green stripe is the signature color, and this is the flagship pen of the Souverän line. With the green, I could take or leave the gold versus the silver or rhodium trim. I believe the blue looks much better with this trim, the 805 trim. And why an extra fine? Well, because I already had the medium, and also because all the research I did about this pen is that it will write 1 to 1.5 sizes heavier than what is indicated on the nib. In other words, Pelikan nibs write wider or heavier than other nibs of the same specification. So I will have to find that out as I go, and I'm sure it will depend on the ink. So that's exciting. So I'm looking forward to inking that up later. And I suppose I should have taken my time with this unboxing, but I've never actually opened a Pelikan in these signature boxes either, because The 805, I got a very good deal, probably about 30% less than I would pay in Canada, but it came in a very simple box, not even this sort of box with the neat little plasticky leather thing with the plasticky wax seal, but kind of nice. Maybe I'll do another video just of all the stuff, but you've seen all that stuff online. But that's number one. Then I said, well, that's not the color I would choose for my second Pelikan pen. So what can I find with that color? And the largest size they make with the color I was interested in is in the 600. So obviously I bought a second Souvenir, and you can see it's a fine point, but this is an M600 with the black and red color scheme with a fine nib. So I split the difference of the extra fine that I bought with the 1000 and the medium that I have in the M805. And I love this color scheme too. I mean, this blue sparkles. I mean, I don't think you can probably see it in this light. And I wish I'd made this video in the morning, but I couldn't do it today until the afternoon, and I didn't want to let this box sit another day. But these stripes really pick up the light when you look closely at them, and I am going to enjoy the same with this, the red. It's a nice dark red too. I love that color. So I'm going to be very curious to see how comfortable it is to write with, but it's a lot lighter. Yeah, so I thought that's that, and then I saw what I originally looked on the website for, and that's probably what's in here, which is a nib unit for my M805, and it's an extra fine. So now I'll have a medium and an extra fine, and I can switch them out depending on how wet the ink is. So great. That should cover me. I spent a lot of money when I was really just going for this, but I couldn't pass up the deal on the M1000. And then I thought, well, the sales are on and the deals are there. And actually the price on the M600 was also less than half of what I would have paid in Canada. So I will not be buying a pen again for quite a while. But obviously I love this brand. I love the quality of the pen. I love that they are not a black cigar shape. That they look different than what so many other companies put out, and some of the details, they're fun to just sit. If you're sitting in a meeting and you're getting bored, they're fun to just look at. So the good thing about Cult Pens, where I got these from, is that they every time you buy a Pelikan product over a certain amount, they include a bottle of ink. And I was like, well, I've never finished a bottle of ink, but I got 3 free bottles for buying these 3 items, or for the total amount that I spent. So, yeah, I ended up having to choose 3 bottles of Edelstein ink. So, I chose the Sapphire, and, let's get the others here. I'm sorry, I am not a professional videographer, and I have not made many videos for Facebook or anything else, so if this turns out looking really bad, I apologize. Yeah, so I chose the Sapphire, which is, you know, dark blue. I thought from the samples I saw online on various websites, it had a little bit of a purpley tone, and then the Tanzanite. Gee, in this light, it looks very close. But, and then finally, I got the Jade. And I thought, well, with that M1000, the green and black stripe, I'll have a green ink because I don't own any green inks. So I'm going to put this ink into that pen for the first time I ink it up, which will probably be right after I finish filming this. And for my M600, I will use the Edelstein Ink of the Year Star Ruby that I got at the Pelikan Hub in September, which I have not used because I really don't have a use for a red ink. But since I have the red and black pen and I have the ink, I think it's suitable that the first time I ink it will be with this. So this ink is going to be used on this guy. This ink will be used on this guy. And this I cleaned just on the last weekend after Fountain Pen Day because it ran dry, and I thought, well, I'll wait till the new inks arrive. And I think I'm going to put the Tanzanite in it, which is the darker of the two, but I'm going to double check before I ink it up. Anyway, I think that's everything after all that. And I know probably some people are gasping that I spent so much, but really, I will be honest, is everything here, the nib, the 2 pens, and the 3 bottles of ink, excluding that one, all that is the same as the price of one of these in Canada. So I thought, I'm going to do it, and then I will not buy a pen for a long time. And I should repeat that because there's quite a likelihood that I will be sitting here in a few months filming another one of these saying, whoops, I spent money again. Anyway, for those of you that are interested, I hope you found it entertaining and not too clumsy. And maybe if there is a decent positive response to me sharing this little fumbling adventure, maybe I'll do a few more once I put ink in these pens, and I can share my reaction to the first time I write with them or something like that. Or I will just put this up, get yelled at by people, and delete it. Anyway, I hope you had a good fountain pen day. I'm really excited to start writing with these, and I hope you're enjoying writing with whatever you got or what you were writing with on Fountain Pen Day. So long for now.